Hi guys, thanks for joining and watching this video. This week I'm joined by Ben Collins. Ben is fighting on July the 19th, headlining his first show at the Dudley Town Hall in just his third fight, which is an incredible achievement. Ben, thanks for joining the call. Appreciate you jumping on and just your thoughts ahead of a really big occasion so early on in your career.
Looking forward to it. Obviously, getting to headline a show, three fights in is brilliant, and it's a local town hall one. Got big support coming, really looking forward to it. Camp's going well, and it's just going to be a good evening. Looking forward to it.
And I said just your third fight, but the first two fights have both gone obviously well, both picked up good wins. What are you looking to kind of improve or change on, or what lessons have you and your coaching team took into fight number three?
Looking to progress. Obviously, we're still 19. Going to be just turned 20 when it comes to the headlining show. Just carry on progressing, showing my skills. Obviously, you know, the transition from the amateur to the pros is still kind of happening. I know it's a year on, but when it's been drilled into you from the age of 8, how you've got to box as an amateur to now, and we're just looking to show that progression. And obviously, I'm picking the shots now, and just I'm growing myself. I'm still yet to build that man strength, so that's coming along. So it's all coming together, and that's what we're looking to do. I could sit here and go, oh yeah, I'm going to stop him and I'm going to, but at the same time, we're looking at how we're going to improve and how we're going to learn for these fights that are in the future.
And the two fights that you've had previously, I said both going the distance over 4 rounds. But as you just talked upon then, your last few amateur fights, obviously you were fighting some of the best amateurs in the country and beyond. How have you found the difference in opponents? As I say, they certainly style wise and aggression wise, probably very, very different. And has that been harder to get used to, and you think, or was it what you were
Yeah,
expecting?
it's expected a little bit, and the pay, even sparring like the elite pros as well, where, it's completely different. It's two ends of the spectrum kind of thing. So it's all about getting that used to it. And obviously the first two fights, the first one, we had four perfect rounds. The in the first one as well, the fourth round was they're coming onto you, they're looking to try and see what you're about, and I handled it well. Obviously, the last one we had that bit of the chest infection and seemed to tire out that. But we were speaking about it recently and saying, since that fourth round was a test of what the pro game's really like, and so far we've had 7 perfect rounds where box lovely, and we've had that little bit 50-50 one, but you know won the fight, so that's the main thing. So it's just about the next fight, doing the same again, and showing my skills using that jab and picking off those lovely shots.
And you touched upon the fact that you'll be boxing a little bit closer to home. Obviously, Dudley Town Hall, not too far from you. And I know that the two fights you've had so far, that people have turned out in big numbers. And I know that's from what the guys have told me, that's happening again. And it'll be making plenty of noise in a really good venue for boxing. I think the Town Hall with the balcony and the spacing, it's a really good venue.
100%. I boxed there once or twice as an amateur early on when I was younger, and it was a good atmosphere then. But now to be I've been to a few shows there, professional shows there. It's different, different level to these amateur shows, and yeah, we're gonna have some noise, some big support from everyone, and really looking forward to it. Just a bit sad your headline in your local town, or it's a bit of it. Obviously you want to headline your Wembley's and those big fights, but personally, headlining the town hall massive for me. It's an amazing experience, and I'm going to take it with both hands.
And talk a little bit. Obviously, you were signed by Frank Warren's Queensbury Promotions. Obviously, what is now arguably the biggest promoter in the UK, certainly one of the two big boys, and obviously putting on big shows around the world. I know they signed you with a long-term plan in mind, and you were getting these learning fights in. But are you itching to jump on one of those shows at some point soon? Not looking
I've
past July the 19th, but is that the next goal
100,
for you?
yeah, 100%. After this one, we're hoping that'll be the plan. Jump on these big TV shows, and in a way, it's nice to get this opportunity to box on the town hall before we do get to these TV shows, because obviously the way we're hoping the journey is going to progress, and it will progress. these opportunities won't be there in hopefully a few fights time, because we'll be past that stage. So to get that opportunity is brilliant. I'm really looking forward to it, but at the same time, I can't wait to move on to the TV shows. And we're in a lucky position where we've got the agreement that I can box on these shows, and carry on progressing and not have to wait for the Midlands area TV shows to come about. I've still got the opportunity to box on BCB shows and progress in my career.
And part of that progression, you touched upon it earlier, is in terms of your training. Every time I get sent photos through, you seem to be in all of them, whether it's the track days, whether it's in the gym. You certainly are living the life, and you've been getting in some brilliant rounds with some fantastic fighters. Obviously, most recently, and with Zach Parker. That's got to be giving you, huge confidence that you're mixing it up with the guys that are fighting at around the fringe world level.
Yeah, 100%. And like you just touched on, I'm living the life kind of thing of a pro, and I've got the sponsors behind me to be able to do that, and they're massive to me. Without them, this wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to be at the track every day, be in the gym every day. So that they allow me to be in the gym twice a day, doing all the track work and live the life of a pro fighter, which so many struggle to do because of funds, and it is hard. But like you said, the sparring I'm getting is brilliant, and the circle I'm in around is brilliant. You got Liam, you got Zach, you got Tyler, all flying, and to be in with them is just pushing my career on. And the sparring I'm getting is brilliant. Plenty of rounds with Zach, and we're seeing progression in that. Zach's commenting on himself, like talking to me and helping me progress on my journey, getting rounds in with Aaron McKenna. That was brilliant experience, different style. I had two lots of rounds with him. And, these guys that I'm sparring, the level they're at the moment, they're world level. And to be getting in with them and learning off them is massive. And it's just pushing my career on even more.
And it definitely seems that the guys have really kind of, I don't want to say taken you under your wing, but there is obviously a bit of an age gap between yourself and some of these guys. And that doesn't seem to, you're obviously so early on in your career, but from what I've seen from time spent around you all, they've taken you in as one of theirs, and they treat you just like they treat anyone else in the gym.
Yeah, 100%. And it's a good circle to be in. It's a good team we're around, and at BCB at the minute it's flying, everyone's flying, and the atmosphere's, it's like, you're going in and everyone's buzzing. We're on about we have that bit of banter and a laugh, but like you said, they have took me under the wing a little bit, and I'm looking up to them and learning off them, and that's helping me. I get on well with Liam, Tyler, and Zach. I get on with all of them. Going away on these camps with Liam to Tenerife, that's pushing me on. Getting sparring with Tyler and Zach, and just learning off them, and just little conversations, little bits of advice here and there. The difference that some of us wouldn't be getting, and it's like I said, it's everything is just pushing in the right direction. It's like a snowball, really. It's all just building and building and getting bigger and bigger. It's going really well.
I know your focus is always on the next fight and the fight after and the fight after and that long-term plan, but away from your own boxing, obviously, I know you're heavily involved with the amateur side, and also touch upon a little about the work that you do within schools and with the knife campaigns, because I think that's one thing that I'm speaking to you previously. It's a really important cause, and one that you seem to be getting some good traction on.
Yeah, it's going really well. Obviously, the amateur gym. To be fair, I had a little memory pop up on Facebook yesterday saying 4 years ago when I started the PTs, just in lockdown when we first started being able to get out and about, and to see what it's come to. Now we're running a successful amateur boxing club that's putting boxers in box cups and tournaments. Got plenty of carded boxers, and then obviously the work within the community you just mentioned. Working in schools, we're going in schools, working with, like the behaviour units in schools, helping get children to frustrate that bit of anger and frustration they've got into boxing, and giving them an opportunity. And it's amazing to see how many kids are, struggling at school and going down the wrong paths, not through any fault of their own, just the way things are. And the boxing is just swerving them away from it. And, there's some of them, they've got a lot of potential to actually push on and do well in boxing themselves. with the knife crime, we're doing a lot of work with the Justice for Ryan campaign, and we've had the weapons being put outside the gym, where people can bring the weapons, knives, and anonymously dispose of them. And the other day it got emptied, and it's been there 2 months, and 30 knives have been took off the street through that. So it's nice to see that what we're doing is having an impact, because those 30 knives, you know I was happy to just take one off the street if it meant that it saved a life. But to take 30 off, it's scary really to see what's happening around us. But I'm glad we're doing a positive thing through the gym that's kind of bringing that away. And it's nice as well with the kids, the way things are, there's not a lot for them to be able to do, and it's hard. Where the boxing is just, you're seeing the difference. The confidence levels are a lot higher. The self-esteem, everything. It's a positive thing, and the gym is really booming, and I'm really enjoying doing that on the side of the boxing.
And you think, obviously, with the kids as well, there's so many great boxing coaches out there in gyms that provide these sorts of services for kids. But with yourself being so young, do you think that you're a little bit more relatable, when you're speaking to kids in schools, and, you don't look much older than some of these kids that you're trying to have
Yeah.
this impact on and trying to help. And it's got to be a better connection for them than having a 50, 60-year-old teacher trying to lecture them, having someone that's a lot more relatable.
Oh yeah, 100%. And like we've got some more senior coaches in the gym, my dad included, and they'll tell the kids something, and it goes in one ear and out the other. I tell them, and they take it on board, and you can see it's because I'm younger, and I kind of I know how a little bit different to I look at things a little bit different to someone a little bit older would. But yeah, definitely they kind of a little bit look up to me in a way, because I just say to them, I've been in your position, I'm only just a little bit older than you, and look what I'm able to do. So I'm really enjoying that kind of aspect as well. It gives me that bit of satisfaction in what we're doing is working, and some of the kids just seeing a smile on the face when they come in the gym is enough. It's nice to see the impact that we are having on everyone.
100%. Now, just before we get on to your quick fire questions, I just wanted to just have a quick background on yourself. I know your amateur background from the back end and where you ended up with the Haringey Cup and all that success, but what was it that first sort of drew you into the gym and starting boxing, and how old were you, and why boxing? I say to all these fighters, why did you pick this sport?
I was a decent little footballer at 8, 9, and 10. I was a goalkeeper. My height kind of helped with that, but I was a nice little keeper. I was playing for the academy at the time, Albion, and it was going well. And a few times my mate was like, "Come down to the local boxing club where we can go in and train." I was like, "Yeah, I'll come along." And after about 2 or 3 sessions, I kind of fell in love with it, and I said, I don't think I want to play football anymore. And my dad was like, "Are you mad? Like you're on the verge of." Well, I was in the academy. I was on the verge of being in like the main team for my age, and I was like, "Nah, football's not for me. I want to box." So it just started from there. It was just a bit of a hobby that, early on in my amateur days, I lost my first 6 fights. So, I had, my family were like, "You sure you want to box? Like, you sure this is the right thing you want to do?" And I was like, "No, I love it. I want to be a world champion. I want to be a British champion." This is what I was saying 10, 11, and people were like, "You sure? You've lost your first 6. Come on, like let's have a look at other things." I was like, "No, I'm going to stick at it." And I got a couple of wins, and then just when I got to 15 and I was leaving school, I got to the national semi-finals, and it was like, right, let's take this serious now and see where it can go. And since lockdown, it's just kind of been full time throughout lockdown, and was training in the garden with my dad 2, 3 times a day. I went on a college course, and I picked up a load of experience at the dice course through England boxing with Ivan Cobb, and that picked up a lot of experiences, and we got to travel away a little bit with that. We went to Tenerife and on a little training camp, and I kind of realised that this is what I want to do now. And then from there, I joined BCB and had a year in the amateurs, and we got the Haringey Box Cup win, and then that kind of just sprung the career forward even more, and it went from you know, something that I was trying to do to something that I am actually doing that is going in that path. And before we knew it, we're here today, headlining the town hall in 3 weeks' time. And you know, I'm just, you know, it's still a bit of a surreal how far we've come from the last year. Really, you know, it's really took off, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I can't wait for what the next year brings and the year after that, because you know the ambition's been there from the age of 10. I told everyone I was going to be at least a British champion. So, you know, now we're here at this stage. It's still, you know, yeah, I am going to be a
Well
British
on the
champion
way.
at least. So I'm loving it. It's you know, I am a kid just living his dream.
That's great, 100%. Now, we'll go on to your quick fires then. So with these questions, Ben, I just want you to think nice, quick answers. As soon as it comes into your head, don't put too much thought into it. And
Yeah, yeah.
don't worry about upsetting people because Brandon didn't last week when he dropped Katie Healy right in it. So first of all, nice easy one. What is your go-to post-fight meal or
uh,
post-fight treat?
Probably a Korean Indian. I love it. I love a nice Indian meal, preferably a jalfrezi and a portion of chips with it.
What's the best fight you've ever seen live, the
Best
amateur or
fight,
pro?
best fight I've ever seen live. Probably not the best fight, but just for the atmosphere and my best memory really in boxing, it'd be David Havey Chisora at Upton Park. It was the first big boxing match I'd ever been to, and it was just yeah. Even to this day, I just remember the atmosphere being unreal.
Who's your biggest inspiration in sport?
Uh, Probably Callum Smith. I've always had a thing for him and he's, you know, what he's achieved. So yeah, Callum Smith.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. Didn't even need to think about that. Dogs.
What would you be if you weren't a boxer? Say the boxing career, just be what alternative career path could it have been for you?
Uh,
Could be in goal at the Hawthorns, you know.
well, possibly. We don't. I don't know. If you see me in goal now, you'd think however would have been academy. Probably something to do with sport. I'm sport mad, so some kind of role in the sport.
What's your biggest strength?
Boxing terms,
Both boxing, personal.
probably my jab in boxing, and just being outgoing. You know, I'm a very confident person.
Biggest weakness.
Biggest weakness, dieting.
That was my next question was what's your least favorite training exercise? Dieting can be part of that. What's your least favorite training exercise, whether that's in the gym or
Track,
on the track? Yeah.
track, track. Just, every Tuesday could be 45 degrees outside. I still could cry every Tuesday morning.
Famous running track that does for all. What's your favorite part of training? What do you enjoy the most?
Just the buzz from it, you know, just doing something. I love boxing, you know, whether it's a hard graft session or just a technical session, just the buzz of boxing.
And what's a training habit or a habit in boxing that annoys you? That could be someone at the gym, that could be, you know, loud music or someone that's messy, or what winds you up in the gym?
What winds me up in the gym? As a coach or as a boxer?
It could be both. I was going to say, and you can keep it anonymous. Brandon didn't, but you can keep it anonymous for who does it as well. So
uh, trying to think of something here that winds me up. I don't really get wound up by things. Things that annoy me, probably a squeaky bag, because every time all you think about is to shut up. But nah, the coach, probably flashiness in the gym, egos.
favorite TV series or TV series you're watching now?
TV series. Don't mind Breaking Bad. I like that. It's a good little.
Choice. Favorite band? That could be singer, band, rapper, any of the above.
Oasis, Oasis, and more specifically in Gallagher.
And with Liam obviously coming out on the September 21st show as well. So that's
I
gonna
know, I
be
know,
even
and
bigger.
looking forward to that. That'll be a nice addition to the show.
We haven't got Liam booked for Dudley, but you never know. We'll have to see. See if Noel's available. Ben, thank you so much for coming on. Really looking forward to seeing you out in July. Obviously, the third time headlining now at the Dudley Town Hall. It's going to be a brilliant night, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, nice one, Paul. I'm really looking forward to it, and just want to say thank you to everyone who's brought a ticket, and I'm going to put on a show and not let anyone down. So really looking forward to it.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ben.
Nice one, Paul. Cheers.